very quickly, the University of Ghana has announced that the work of the 5-member committee set up to look into the recent sexual harassment claims has concluded. Speaking at the 2019 congregation ceremony for graduates in the College of Humanities undergraduate programs, Vice-Chancellor Professor Ebenezer Udru-Wusu confirmed that recommendations have been forwarded to him. He pledged to study and act on them accordingly.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, following the recent media reports of alleged sexual harassment cases involving some faculty of the university, management has taken steps to enforce its anti-sexual harassment regulations. Following the broadcast, management set up a 5-member fact-finding committee chaired by Her Ladyship, Justice Retired Vida Akoto Ampofu, to conduct an inquiry into the matter. I'm happy to inform you that the committee submitted its report to me on Tuesday, the 12th of November, 2019. Management will therefore study the report and ensure implementation of the recommendations using the appropriate adjudicatory processes stipulated under the basic law and policies of the university. Meanwhile, the university has created an email address and a dedicated phone number to facilitate and create easy avenues through which all such sexual harassment cases may be reported. We particularly encourage people who may have fallen victim to such unfortunate incidents to take advantage to report them for redress. In response to the ongoing discussion on how to tackle sexual harassment issues going forward, the Center for Gender Studies and Advocacy, SEGENSA, has been tasked to lead in developing a training program to educate members of the university community on what constitutes harassment. It's emphasized that in the not too distant future, every employee of the University of Ghana will be trained in understanding what constitutes sexual and gender harassment and how to respond to it, either as a perpetrator or a victim. Once the framework is developed, it's proposed that the training will be available both online and in other formats and will also be extended to students. We are counting on SEGENSA to consult widely and come up with a training program that is suitable for the University of Ghana and which will deal decisively with the issues relating to sexual harassment.
Right, tomorrow Saturday, what will you be doing? My next guests will be marching against the increasing numbers of teenage pregnancy cases in Gamashi. So let's learn about the reasons for this march. With me, Liat Shenster is a board member of the Bleecker Foundation. She's here with Samuel Lamte, who's the programs manager at Act for Change. It's very nice to see you both.
Thank you.
So why are you marching?
We're marching to stop teen pregnancy in Ghana. And I'm here representing the Bleecker Foundation, which is a Dutch foundation. I can talk more about it, depending when, but this is what we're here to do together with the local foundation, Act for Change.
Why has it become important to do this in the Gamashi area?
It has become very important because as a youth-led organization based in Gamashi, we see the numbers of young girls getting pregnant. And it is appalling if you come from Gamashi and you just walk on the streets and like for every 5 teenager you see one at least one pregnant. It's quite alarming, and so that actually influenced the whole decision and the thought that we need to do something.
So who are you talking to with this march? I mean, is it the men who impregnate teenagers? Is it the teenagers themselves? Is it their parents? Is it teachers? Is it the government? Who is the target audience of this?
It's basically everything that everyone who you just mentioned. It's really the primary goal is to raise awareness and to make sure that people know, what to do, how to protect themselves, where to turn to when, they're already pregnant and they need to be on the journey to be self-sustained. It's really the target audience is everyone who's able to help, including, of course, the girls and the boys.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about a 10-year-old who was, violated by her uncle for 4 years, and it was an intervention in school that made her finally speak up about it. It brought back the whole discussion about comprehensive sexuality education in Ghana, which so many people rose up against. I wonder how your organizations feel about this. What is your stand on comprehensive sexuality education? Shall I start with you?
Absolutely. So again, as a representative of the Blecker Foundation, we really target 2 phases. So we start with education in a very young age. So we start with school, so junior high school. So you can really start with 6, 7 years old, just to teach them how to say no, and to teach them that privates are private and they're their privates, right? So they don't have the right to ask someone to show their privates, but they know how to say no and protect themselves if someone trying to violate them, of course. And then unfortunately is also, not unfortunately, but unfortunately for the situations where there is a teen pregnancy, to make sure that the teenage mother is getting the right education and the right opportunity and showing the right opportunity to actually lead a self-sustaining life at the end. So the education is really important. You would be surprised. We interviewed yesterday a few girls who are already teenage mothers, and just the awareness of how to protect themselves, to say no, but also to protect themselves as they engage in sexual activity is just not there. So the awareness is very important.
Someone, I'd love to hear your take on it.
Yeah, I have actually followed the whole brouhaha following the CSE guidelines that was introduced not long ago. I feel sad because, for me, I believe that people need to really educate themselves. If people would have actually taken time to read the guidelines, to read through, they would actually know that it's something that needs to be embraced. And that is why, as an organization, we come in. So Act for Change, basically what we do is that we speak to schools, we speak to churches and to community groups. We go to them, and because we are more or less like an art-based organization, we use theater to address social issues in communities. And what we do is that we use theater to bring out these issues regarding assertiveness. So we empower the children to be assertive in saying no. We empower children to know that when they are in a situation where they need some form of escape, there are so many options to think through. Yeah. And so it's very hard to actually comment on the current situation regarding the CSE.
Right, that's fair. Now, unless a girl is 16 years old and above, every teenage pregnancy is also evidence of a crime. Yeah. In this country, we don't see that many men taken to court for teenage pregnancy. What are your organizations hoping that this march might do to perhaps bring more awareness and urgency to the fact that teenage pregnancy almost all the time should be the beginning of a criminal prosecution? Absolutely, and to your earlier point, who is the target audience, right? So the boys, the men, teachers, religious leaders, everyone who could actually help. We would like to enrich and enrich the awareness, increase the awareness, but also to make sure that people are empowered and take accountability. So it's really about the awareness, enablement and accountability, and target everyone. It's not just sexual reproductive education for the women, for the girls, it's for everyone who is involved. All right, let's wrap it up. Samuel, what can we expect tomorrow? So tomorrow we are expecting so many people to show up at the march. It's starting at the Jamestown Community Theatre Center, closer to the Jamestown Lighthouse. The time is 8 a.m. and we mean it, not the Ghana 8 a.m., but like the real 8 a.m. From there, we will be walking through the community. Fortunately for us, we have the support of the Osha Polyclinic. They are sending a rep to be a part of the march.
So at every vantage point, this rep would actually give some form of talk to the community. We are hoping that our MP, Honorable Nilante Vanapoi, would also join us. We've sent the invitation out. Some assembly members are coming, youth groups are coming, people from the community are coming. So I think we should expect an advocacy that has never been seen in Gamashi before.
All right, that's wonderful. Liat, I think I'll give you the chance to tell us a bit about the Blecker Foundation and what exactly you do.
Absolutely. So as I mentioned, it's a Dutch-based foundation that really targets at sexual reproductive education for young children, for youth, but more importantly to support teenage moms to, first of all, own their situation, see the opportunity, see that there is a way out and you are someone important, you are someone special, you're someone unique, and be able to support them financially, but also helping with conversations through local communities like Act for Change to get into a situation where they're self-sustained, they're proud, and they continue to be part of the society, because often we see them just drop out of school and drop out of society and becoming, one of the children yesterday at school said, you become a street person. We don't want that to happen. We want them to be part of the society, own the situation, and see the opportunity, because there's a lot of opportunity for them.
Where can we go to learn more about your organizations and about tomorrow's march?
BleckerFoundation.nl and .org, Act for Change. We work with some on Facebook, social media.
On Instagram, we are on Twitter. On Facebook, just type Act for Change. On Twitter, we are Act for Change at Act for Change GH. On Instagram at Act for Change GH _. We are there.
All right. We wish you both the very, very best of luck tomorrow. Let's hope for positive impact from this march.